Welcome everyone to Stanford High School for the FCIAC Championship game. We have Ludlowe warming up on the court right now with Greenwich to follow shortly.
When your event needs to look and sound its best, trust the team that delivers every time. At A1 Audio, we provide professional sound, video, and lighting systems throughout Fairfield County. From corporate meetings and fundraisers to community events and celebrations, A1 Audio brings clarity, energy, and atmosphere to every moment. Elevate your next event with A1. Call, email, or visit us today.
You have evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Quincy Gymnasium for tonight's FCIAC Finals between the Falcons of Ludlowe and the Cardinals of Greenwich. Fans, the FCIAC and Stanford High School expect good sportsmanship from our student athletes. We expect the same from the fans in the stands. Remember to cheer for your kids against the others. Keep in mind the FCIAC policy: no names, no numbers. Any out-of-bounds behavior exhibited by any fans will lead to you being asked to leave. Do not forget, the kids are here to make you proud. Please remember the officials, the student athletes, and the coaches are here to do their best for you, so do your best for them. Keep it classy. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your starting lineups. First for the Ludlowe Falcons. Number 15, freshman, Sydney Ogilvy. Number 19, freshman, Henry Pawlowski. Number 8, sophomore, Kendall McClear. Number 5, sophomore, Rebecca Carlson. Number 1, senior, Finley Haven. Number 4, senior, Cami Zane. And number 30, senior, Sophia Solano. And for the Greenwich Cardinals, number 6, junior, Victoria Sullivan. Number 1, senior, Helena Jacobson. Number 4, junior, Kaya Armstrong. Number 15, sophomore, Samantha Tomasino. Number 13, sophomore, Essa Walsh. Number 8, junior, Heidi Zee. Number 17, senior, Taya Saidi. And number 5, sophomore, Bailey Dayon. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you can to please rise. Caps, turning attention to the flag on the wall. We'll start this evening with our national anthem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting match ahead of us right now between Ludlowe and Greenwich. These teams last played on September 16th, just about a month and a half ago, a matchup in which Greenwich won 3-0, but with each game getting progressively closer at 25-20, 25-21, and 25-23. With games that close, we're expecting this one, after a full season of growth, to be even tighter and send us to hopefully a thrilling five-setter. This is the 1 and 2 seed of the FCIAC, with Greenwich having the 1 seed and Ludlowe at the 2. They both also have the same in-conference record with 1 loss, and they both lost to separate teams in conference. So while these were the heavy favorites in conference, Greenwich had a significantly stronger set win percentage. They had a 90% win rate across all the sets in their matches at 55-6, while Ludlowe had a 77% win rate at 59-18 in sets this season. The crowd looks pretty evenly split between red and blue. We have lots of signs and noisemakers in the building here. People are very excited to support their teams. And we have senior Sophia Solano going back to serve for Ludlowe, kicking things off. Right off the bat, Greenwich gets to their key hitter, Kaya Armstrong. Substitution right now with Essa Walsh coming off and Sammy Tomasino coming in to be the front row right side for Greenwich. Junior setter Victoria Sullivan back to serve. Deep push to the corner, controlled, brought back into system, and Kai Armstrong again. This time she finds the floor. Right off in the early going, we can see both of these teams are focusing on their key middle hitters. As mentioned, Kaya Armstrong for Greenwich is a team leader in kills, whereas for Ludlowe, we have Becca Carlson, a sophomore, who we will see prominently featured in her team's offense this game. Free ball come over, controlled by Finley. Back to the middle to Becca, and finds the floor. It seems like Greenwich in the past few serves was targeting sophomore Kendall McAleer, and she was keeping that in system and allowing Ludlowe to run a middle offense there. We have senior Cami Zane, starting right side, going back to serve. Very young front court lineup for Ludlowe right now. We have freshmen and two sophomores. And Armstrong again finds the floor. Great range on her offense. She's taken swings into her body to the deep left corner as well as to the short right. And that was Franny subbing in for Cami there. A deep serve floats long from Greenwich. Sophomore Kendall McAleer back to serve. A heavy float to the 5. Nice pass by, and right back to. And there we have it, folks. That matchup in the middle is going to be a thrilling one to watch all day. These middles are just going back and forth with it. And the heavy float sails long. In the early goings, it's very, very tight game here. Greenwich up 4-3. Kaya Armstrong going back to serve, and senior Taya Saidi coming back into the front court in the middle. Deep float down line. Low set, pushed over, and the down ref calls a net. Blocking error on Greenwich. Sophomore Becca Carlson back to serve, and Kenley Pavlovsky, freshman middle, entering the front court for Ludlowe. Deep float down line, controlled by libero Bailey Dayon. Big swing, covered. Finley Havens puts it back in system. Tipped by the freshman setter, gets the overpass, controlled, and senior outside Finley Havens rips it. That was a rally, folks. some creativity, some resolute defense, and a big swing to put it all away. Essa Walsh back to serve after stepping in for Sammy Tomasino. Oh, right into the campfire. A tough short serve. Substitution for Ludlowe. Number 16, MJ McGowan, coming on for Franny Chapala. High pass. Ooh, a big swing taken. Referee called no touch on the swing. That is 4 contacts. The energy is high in this gym. Greenwich loves to ride waves like this. Great pickup by the passing substitute, sending a free ball over from... A tough leave by the Essa Walsh in the back, letting the ball sail past her just barely. She goes back for another serve. He was floating long, but touched. That's a strong serving run from the sophomore here. And we have a timeout called from Coach Rembish. First one of the match at 4 Ludlowe to 9 Greenwich. On Monday, the semifinals for the FCIAC were in this same gym, and Greenwich got off to a much different start. It seemed like they had some early match nervousness on Monday, and they are coming out raring to play, leaving a huge imprint on this game with aggression from the net and the service line so far to start.
Quick reminder, we have literally 2 FCIAC shirts left. 2. 1, 2. Go buy it right now. 2 shirts left. Come and get it.
The Ludlowe fan section is bringing some energy here, trying to inspire their girls to up their energy and bring a fight back to this court. Essa Walsh back to continue her serving run. High serve to the corner, deep into the pocket. Tough to get a hand on. Big swing from the backcourt, finds the middle of the net. Tough situation to create some offense out of. A tape serve, an overpass. All right. Aggressive net play from Taya Saidi, controlling those overpasses and finding the court on the second overpass attempt. Pass in system. Hutt set to the outside. Big swing from Finley off the hands, controlled by the defense. Number 8, Heidi Zine with a big swing, covered again, and an offensive option from the setter. Junior Victoria Sullivan finds the floor with the setter dump. This has been a very impressive serving run from Essa Walsh. All of these serves have brought pressure, and she's been mixing up the location of where she's been pushing it from the 1 to the 5, even into the campfire zone. This one floats deep, catches the passer on the tip from the middle. Controlled, and a tip right back. Phenomenal dig. And a big swing back to the line, touched, but uncontrolled. All right, folks, that was a rally there. Ball's crossing the net several times, some big swings, some excellent defense. And we have a substitution coming on from Ludlowe. M. Zwingowen comes off, and Franny Zappala goes back in. Phenomenal save by Ludlowe in a chaotic situation. Greenwich in system. Big swing down the line off the hands. Yeah, the Ludlowe middle, Pavlovsky was forced to commit on the Greenwich middle because there was an in-system pass and gave the big outside Heidi Zima one-on-one. Essa Walsh continuing her powerful service run, finding creases, finding seams, jamming up the passers. Really great display of service targeting here. Insistent pass, Hutsett to the outside. Finley pass controlled. Second attempt. Oh, gets the seam and blasts that into center court. Cami Zane comes back onto the front court as freshman Sedner Sydney Ogilvie goes back to serve. There is no shot clock, there is no game clock, folks. It's first to 25, so even though it's a big lead, it's very comebackable. High set to the outside, big double block. No touch from the Ludlowe blockers. That is 4 contacts on Greenwich. And Ludlowe chips away at the lead. Sydney Ogilvie, folks, is a freshman setter, so displaying tremendous growth over the course of this season, piloting this offense to a county championship. Victoria Sullivan with a great save on an overpass. Oh, but then Finley Havens finds it off the tape and hands and finds the court. Victoria Sullivan, the setter for Greenwich, provides such a safety outlet for her passers by being a tall setter. Her physicality to be able to take passes from the plane that would have been overpasses for an undersized setter is just a great asset for that roster. High float to the 5, just long. Kendall McAleer with the pass. Taylor on the right, Finley Havens on the right side, and that ball lands into the corner. Must feel nice for Ludlowe to get a quick side out on the first attempt. Senior Finley Havens back to serve. Greenwich has front hand split hitters with Abby Jacobson and Taya Saidi on the front court. Ball pinballed off the equipment in the ceiling. Greenwich sends a free ball over. Ooh, and it trickles down the tape. Never crossed, no touch. That is a point for Greenwich. Kaya Armstrong back on the court for Greenwich as freshman libero Bailey Dayon goes back to serve. Coach Rembus is discussing something with the down official here. Not sure what they were inquiring about. Controlled by Sophia Solana. Right side set. Cami Zane down the line into the corner pocket. Great pass set swing combination from Ludlowe there. That was a senior pass freshman set to a senior kill down the line. Sophie Solana going back to serve means Becca Carlson is back in the front court, and we get our premier matchup of these two excellent middles here. High tight pass. Victoria Sullivan with the great dump. As mentioned, that's why it's such an incredible asset to have a tall physical setter like that. She can make plays that is much harder for less physically gifted setters to make. Nice quick ball run on there. Sent over by Havens. And Armstrong picks up where she left off with a big swing. Nicely dug. Big swing by Kendall McAleer. Scooped up by Bailey Down. Tomasino with a big swing, but housed. The sophomore combination of Kendall McAleer and Becca Carlson putting up a big block on that right side attack. Senior Cami Zane to serve. Into that 5. Scooped up. Ooh, that was a nice set from pushed across the court and hit her in a tough situation, found the hands and stuffed. Serve to the 1. High and tight. And the back row setter couldn't make a play. Middle finishes the overpass. Yeah, as setter Victoria Sullivan is backcourt now, her reaching up into the net would have been a backcourt violation as a back row attack. Serving to the 6 this time in system. 31. Oh, nope. Slightly misplayed, but Kendall McAleer off the hands, controlled. Nice dig by Dayon. Into the middle. Oh, phenomenal blocking performance by this sophomore duo for Ludlowe. And that is a timeout towards Greenwich. That is 1 timeout each. You get 2 timeouts per set here. What had been a 10-point lead at 6-16 is being chipped away by Ludlowe, now here at 13-19. Coach Mariana for Greenwich is taking no chances and calling a timeout where there's still some margin, refocusing her girls and getting back out there. That has been 1 timeout taken by each coach, with 1 timeout each remaining. Senior Cami Zane going back to serve, and in the front court, we have a very young lineup for Ludlowe. Freshman setter, sophomore middle, sophomore outside. Oh, ace by Cami Zane into the short 1. Quick adjustment made on the serve received by coach for Greenwich. Heidi Zine with a nice controlled pass. Swing off the tape by Kaya Armstrong. Free ball sent over by Ludlowe. Wow. Tough play there by the setter and middle combination for Greenwich. Substitution for Ludlowe. MJ McGowan comes back on for Cami Zane. We have Alina Jacobson, senior outside, back to serve for Greenwich. Float down line to the 1, targeting the fresh sub. Becca Carlson, big swing. Covered. Swing from the back row. Back to who else but Kaya Armstrong, and blocked by her matchup in the middle, Becca Carlson. Ludlowe showing a lot of determination, going down big but fighting back. They've cut the lead in half, and there's still time to make this final push. Kendall McAleer going back to serve. Heavy float to the 5-6 seam. Into the seam, finds the floor for an ace. Heavy serve back to the same spot, but this time just a little too amped up and sails long. Kaya Armstrong back to serve. She got far fewer touches this time around the front court than she did the first time. High arching ball to the corner. Big swing from the right side and didn't quite get the right piece of it. Sails long. The Greenwich fans are picking back up their energy. Armstrong back to serve. Short float. Oh, not quite handled. That's an ace for the junior who recently committed to Harvard University. Coach Rembish calls her second and final timeout in this set, down 16-23. Junior Kaya Armstrong puts 96% of her serves into the court over the course of the regular season, so I'm sure Coach is very happy to have her back there behind the line. Greenwich just needs 2 more points to clinch this first game of our FCIAC championship game. Ludlowe takes the court seemingly in fine spirits. Smiles and high fives being shared around. Serve to the deep 6, controlled by the defensive substitute. A push one ran from off the net. That is a lot of trust from a young duo there, freshman and sophomore, running that from 8, maybe even 10 feet off the net. Becca Carlson back to serve, and we have Tenley Pavlovsky coming back onto the front court. Back row hands 3 hitters for Greenwich. Nice high pass. Pushed all the way out to the pin. Heidi with a big swing into the tape. And that is into the tape. No touch by the block. 4 contacts. Ludlow's hopes of a comeback in this first set staying alive. Senior Alina Jacobson couldn't quite handle that high, deep serve. Ludlowe again chipping away. 19-23 here. Greenwich has a margin, but they've got to take advantage of it while they can. High float, high pass, controlled by the setter. A roll shot finds the floor. Heidi Azim with a smart, controlled shot just over the hands. That puts us at game point. Essa Walsh coming off her Sammy Tomasino. Now, we will remember this is the same server that put the hurt onto Ludlowe earlier this game. Hopefully, for Greenwich, she's got one more saved up. On Ludlow's side, they're hoping to have adjusted to these strong serves. Off the tape, high tight pass. Big swing on the overpass. That is some punctuation on game 1. Serve receive and service pressure is such an important aspect of this game. We saw from the jump that Greenwich built their lead from the service line, and then Ludlow's climb back to make this a tight match was from their better control of that sort of tug of war. Before we get back to the action, we have a big thank you to give to Northeast Volleyball Club, our title sponsor and proud supporter of Connecticut high school volleyball. NEVBC is based down the road in South Norwalk, and they have helped shape the volleyball landscape in this state, offering everything from developmental classes and summer camps to nationally competitive club teams for boys and girls. Last year alone, 16 Northeast girls made All-State and 29 earned all FCIAC honors. Over 80 Northeast Volleyball Club alumni have gone on to play in college, including powerhouse conferences like the SEC and ACC. We'll be showing NEVBC's new hype video in a few moments between sets. Don't miss it. Thanks again to Northeast Volleyball Club for being part of today's events. Also a big thank you to A1 Audio, providing professional sound, lighting, and video production across Fairfield County and beyond. Elevate your next event with A1 Audio. Visit a1audio.co or call 203-273-1449.
When your event needs to look and sound its best, trust the team that delivers every time. At A1 Audio, we provide professional sound, video, and lighting systems throughout Fairfield County. From corporate meetings and fundraisers to community events and celebrations, A1 Audio brings clarity, energy, and atmosphere to every moment. Elevate your next event with A1. Call, email, or visit us today.
Every time I think about the times you saved me, realize I wasn't there for you. Wishing that I could go back in time and fix it. Sorry that I didn't see the truth. Tell me, are you happy now? 'Cause since I'm lost, you must be found. I wanna make you proud, don't wanna be without you. Are you happy? Hope you're happy now.
This Greenwich team is a team that has been here before. Last year they lost in the FCIAC finals, this very game a year ago, and made it all the way to the state semis, so they are back and hungry for more. Coach Mariana is a 3-time Coach of the Year over her career, so she is a veteran coach with a ton of experience and is pushing all the right buttons to get her team off to a strong start in this championship match. Her counterpart, Coach Rembish on the other side, is with her 5th year at Ludlowe High School, and they reached the state finals on her first year with the program. So both of these coaches have a pedigree of success. Junior setter Victoria Sullivan back to kick things off for Greenwich and get set 2 underway. That's got it. Call of the net there. Okay. We see something interesting here in the Ludlowe alignment. Looks like they're starting with their setter in position 6, pushing up right now. Not the conventional start. But Coach Rembish must have seen something in the matchups that she wanted to manipulate a little bit. The second serve from Victoria Sullivan into the net, giving us a 1-1 start here. Sophomore Becca Carlson comes onto the front court, and freshman Tenley Pavlovsky steps off. The serve from senior libero off the tape, and hit the setter on the move. That is a tough shot to pull off, but always a fun one as a server. High deep float. A little bit of chaos. Nice save by number 15, Sammy Tomasino. Dig down the line. Greenwich sends a free ball over. Followed to the line, and it is out. Heavy float into the 6. High set, tip to the middle, controlled, ball high. Beautiful insistent pass, 31, and a big swing from Kaya Armstrong. That is Alina Jacobson, the senior, going back to serve, senior outside hitter. Float to the campfire zone, popped up. And Cami Zane whiffs on the ball. drops and ties the game up at 3-3. Passes off the net. Big swing from the outside. Cross court controlled by the libero. Outside to outside. Blocked but popped up. Good coverage. High and tight to the right side. Tough to work with and doesn't quite make it over. Cami Zane goes back to serve, the senior right side, with Ludlowe up 4-3. High pass by Alina Jacobson. Back one run by Kaya Armstrong and stuffed by Becca Carlson. Folks, those are some heavy hitters in the middle, and that is a matchup that we are thrilled to watch here tonight. Float serve to the one, Alina Jacobson again. Set to the outside, a roll shot, cross court 4-4, controlled by Kendall McAleer. She gets it back, and a big swing, straight up, off the hands, and finds the floor. It's a very chaotic thing as a blocker to know you got a solid touch and turn to look for the ball and not know where it went. High float, Alina Jacobson again. Pushed to the deep corner by Tomasino. Big swing from way off the net. Sullivan with a very, very difficult save on a near overpass, bringing that back to Kaya Armstrong, who finishes for the kill. That is a lot of poise and balance and touch to bring that ball back, and when you have a phenomenal option like Kaya Armstrong to put that ball away, it makes an absolute highlight. Armstrong with the serve. Goes to the 5. Senior Finley Havens with the pass. 31 ran to the tip. Popped up. The ref calls a lift, presumably on the second contact. Folks, I did not have a great angle on that one, but that is the referee's call. Some chirping from the blue fans to the red team right in front of them. When the team switched side, the fans did not. Cheeky free ball sent over kind of fast. Big swing to the outside and pass by Alina Jacobson with the dig. Heidi Ziemsen the free ball over to the corner. Overpass and the big swing. Doug. Set to the outside. Finley Havens again. Gets it between the blockers and the net. Falls on Greenwich side. Point to Ludlowe. 8-4. First timeout called by Coach Mariana. Folks, we are seeing a very different set 2 than we did in set 1. When we were 12 points into set 1, it was Greenwich building a runaway lead behind the back of sophomore Essa Walsh's serving. In this case, we see better service pressure coming out from Ludlowe and cleaner siding out. Still very early in the game, but it is very exciting to see the swings in both of these teams challenging and rising to meet the challenge, answering the questions that the other team is asking of them. That is Kendall McAleer, the sophomore, back to serve, sophomore outside hitter. The front court right now is a freshman, a sophomore, and a senior for Ludlowe. An overpass, Finley Havens drops it straight down. The setter, Victoria Sullivan, is backcourt right now. If she'd been front court, she would have been able to joust. But because she's in the backcourt, she is a very difficult play for her to make and possibly infringing on some rules. Nice high set. Tip over. First contact by the middle. Cross-court tip. One-handed pop-up. Freshman setter tips it over. Scooped up by setter, her counterpart. Down ball takes the setter out. Libero taking the out-of-system set. Big swing from the little outside. Tip into the net. You got to remember, folks, this is a state or a county championship game. There's a lot of stakes, and it's tough to wonder how sometimes these nerves might be getting into the players over the course of the swings of these games. Another big serve off the tape. Alina Jacobson, phenomenal pass in system. Big swing and blocked by Becca Carlson. Greenwich had the pass they wanted there and weren't able to convert. We have Ludlowe building a 7-point lead right now, up 11-4. Jump float to the 5. A dime of a pass. Middle option again. Tip. And Greenwich gets the side out. We have matching substitutions on each side here. Kendall Meckler comes off. And on the right side, we have Sammy Tomasino coming off and Essa Walsh coming onto the court right now. It was her service pressure that drove Greenwich's lead last game, and they're hoping it can drive them to tie up this game right now. Oh, into the tape. Point to Ludlowe. Tenley Pavlovsky enters the front court as Becca Carlson goes back to serve. Victoria Sullivan for the Greenwich is front court, so on these tight passes, she is more of a threat. Tight 31 set. Big swing. Sent back over. Finley Havens is relentless, going right at these big blockers on Greenwich side, challenging them to present their hands and stuff that ball. If your block isn't set, she is going to wipe it off your hands, and then some big swings challenging that block. Tough serve to the low 5. Crafty shot, pushing it 4-4 with her hands in a tough situation. And Victoria Sullivan sends the overpass just a little long. If you notice on that last run, they had the middle running a slide, pulling the blocker away from the outside hitter. Let's see if they run that again. It's 4 contacts on the double. A little bit of chaos, and here we have the second timeout coming up from Greenwich. 10-point lead, 5-15. Folks, this is almost a mirror image of last game where it was 16-6. Except in this case, Coach Marion is being a little more aggressive with those timeouts, trying to get her team to collect and refocus immediately. Whereas on the Ludlowe side last game, Coach Rembish sort of let her team get it out of their system and flow through it. So Greenwich has used both of their 2 timeouts this set. They cannot ask for any more. The only other way that the coach can control the tempo of this game is by making substitutions. Ludlowe takes the court all smiles with this big lead, but again, it is only halfway through this second set, and we saw last game that comebacks are very, very possible in a game where there is no shot clock and you can't just protect the clock. A high arching serve to the deep 5-6 seam, miscommunication. Both players were transitioning away from it. Not what you want to see coming out of a timeout. Same spot. High pass into the rafters. Doesn't touch anything. Deep cross-court swing, controlled. Chaos sent over on the 2. Victoria Sullivan with a nice reset. Greenwich gets all the pieces together. The pass, the smooth set, and the big swing to earn their first point in a little while. Junior Heidi Ziem back to serve. High float to the 6. Hot set to Finley. Big swing off the libero and a kill. Ludlowe runs a very fast offense, puts a lot of pressure on their opposing blockers. Substitution for Ludlowe, we have Cami Zane entering the court. freshman setter Sydney Ogilvy back to serve. Big swing into the block. Into the jousting zone. Cami Zane against Saidi the middle. Alina Jacobson, big swing into the 6. Beautiful dig in system. Running a back 1. Ball's in the plane again. Overpass swung into the tape. Tough way for that to end for Zane, who had a couple of really nice plays in that rally. Freshman libero Bailey Dayon back to serve. Float to the 6, pass by Sophia Solano. Right side set to Finley Havens. Deep cross court into the pocket for a kill. Substitution for Ludlowe. Fanny Zappa comes off and Kendall McAleer comes back on. Senior Finley Havens back to serve. Kaya Armstrong back on the court for Greenwich. They must be thrilled to have her back on there. Pass into the 5-6 seam. 2 players go for it. Neither one makes a good contact. Ball drops. Ludlowe is putting a lot of pressure out from the service line, not necessarily with the physicality of the serves, but by putting it in really tough zones, forcing Greenwich to be clear on the responsibilities and communications of who's supposed to take what. Pass into this. That's got to be a call from the ref. Yep. The referee called point for Greenwich there. The call is that the ball was not in the plane, and so Ludlowe is not allowed to reach over and play that. That is a ref's discretionary call. If any part of the ball is in the plane, Ludlowe can make a play on it. The up ref decided that it was entirely on Greenwich's side, making that illegal interference. Victoria Sullivan back to serve. High, tight pass. Freshman setter controlled. A little out of sync in the middle there, but Kaya Armstrong finds a way to get to the floor. Folks, that was an interesting, tightly contested play at the net, and Coach Tina Rembish is discussing with her middle about how that went. It almost looked like, from my angle, that the Greenwich middle blocker got over the net before the hitter contacted it, but a bang-bang play. High out, quick outside set, blocked and controlled. Back to Kendall McAleer, tip, setter taken out. Rivera with the second ball. High and tight to the outside. Cami Zane pops it down and covered. Sent back over. Free ball, folks. In system middle. And Tenley Pavlovsky shut down by her counterpart in the other middle, Kaya Armstrong. We had some pure chaos in that rally there, folks, and a timeout called for Ludlowe while up 19-10. That is the first timeout for Ludlowe this set, and there are 2 timeouts already taken for Greenwich right now. So the coaches are running out of ways they can control the pace of this game. We have seen all match so far in the 1 2/3 sets we've been through how important stability of first contact is. When Greenwich is able to control the first ball, their size and physicality and power is enabling them to bash through Ludlow's defense. When Ludlowe is able to control the first contact, their tempo is able to stretch the court faster than the Greenwich defense can keep up. It all comes down to serve and pass, folks. Victoria Sullivan back to serve. A driven floater to the 6. Beautiful pass in system. Quick tempo ball into the cross court dug. Tight pass. Kaya Armstrong blasted off the hands. The connection between setter and middle for Greenwich is so important. Some of these passes, while directly to target, would be very difficult for some other setters to control. Float serve to the 6 again. Another in-system option for Ludlowe. Cami Zane down the line. Create some chaos on the other side. All 3 touches were done, but none of them were brought into under control, and we get the point for Ludlowe on the Zane attack down the line. Sophia Solano back to serve. The senior libero brings a ton of steadiness to the court. And a hard flat serve to the 5-6 seam. Solano and Ludlowe overall doing such a good job of attacking these seams in serve receive. High pass directly to the setter. 31. Blasted into the block, controlled, passed up. Swing from McAleer. Through the seam down the line for the point. Yeah, there were 4 hands, 2 big blockers in front of Kai Armstrong on there. Ludlowe read their scouting report and made sure they were prepared for that ball. Solano with the serve. Off the tape to the 1. Alina Jackson with the pass. And a big swing from Armstrong. Alina Jacobson right there put up a dime of a pass, and that allowed Greenwich to be in system running exactly the offense they wanted. No matter how many times you put a big block in front of Kai Armstrong, she will find a way to get that ball to the floor. Alina Jacobson right now back to serve after putting up that 3-option pass just a moment ago. Flat float to the 5-6. Put some pressure on the defense. Zane with the chip shot down the line off the hands for a point. Greenwich was able to stop the bleeding after going down big, but they have not been able to chip away and make a comeback feel threatening yet. Ludlowe serving at 23-12. High ball onto the libero's platform. In-system pass. Set to the outside. Big swing off the blocker's hands down the line. Armstrong back to serve. We have front row hands for Ludlowe, 2 hitters. That is the sophomore combination of Becca Carlson and Kendall McLear with their freshman setter. Low set pushed over by and the overpass blocked by the middle. Yeah, that is a very young front court for Ludlowe that's going to play together for at least 2 more seasons after this. Kendall McLear back to serve on game point, 24-13. Heavy float taken by the libero. Heidi Zine with the roll shot, and it goes off the hands and drops into the center of the court. A moment of respite for the girls in red. Double subs on the court right now. Tomasino comes off and Essa Walsh comes on, while Kendall McLear comes off the court, and we had 2 defensive substitutes on Ludlow's side recently with MJ McGowan and Fren Zappa on the court. Essa Walsh 14-24. Team in a deficit with a heavy serve. And into the net, unfortunately. We are all tied up, folks, at 1-1 in sets. Each team has a big win, and we're heading into game 3. But first, we want to thank A1 Audio for providing professional sound, lighting, and video production across Fairfield County and beyond. Elevate your next event with A1 Audio. Visit a1audio.co or call 203-273-1449. Before we get back to the action, we want to give a big thank you to Northeast Volleyball Club, our title sponsor and proud supporter of Connecticut high school volleyball. NEVBC is based right down the road in South Norwalk, and they've helped shape the volleyball landscape in this state, offering everything from developmental classes and summer camps to nationally competitive club teams for boys and girls. Last year alone, 16 Northeast girls made All-State and 29 earned all FCIAC honors. Over 80 NEVBC alumni have gone on to play in college, including powerhouse conferences like the SEC and ACC. We'll be showing NEVBC's new hype video between sets. Don't miss it. Thanks again to Northeast Volleyball Club for being part of today's event.
When your event needs to look and sound its best, trust the team that delivers every time. At A1 Audio, we provide professional sound, video, and lighting systems throughout Fairfield County. From corporate meetings and fundraisers to community events and celebrations, A1 Audio brings clarity, energy, and atmosphere to every moment. Elevate your next event with A1. Call, email, or visit us today.
pretend I'm lost, you must be found. I wanna make you proud, don't wanna be without you. Are you happy? Hope you're happy now.
Greenwich bringing some energy to the court as they regroup and come out here with this match all tied up at 1-1. Ludlowe has got to feel great about that bounce back performance. The down ref is asking the players to get lined up so we can check the lineups. Bailey Dayon comes on for Taya Saidi. And Greenwich is all ready to go on the Ludlowe side. We have Tenley Pavlovsky coming off for Sophia Solano as we get this game started. Coach Rembish getting some final words of advice in with Becca Carlson. And Sophia Solano back to serve. We have front hands two-hitter stacked right for Greenwich. They have Kaya Armstrong starting the 4, so she gets the most amount of time in the front court this game. Tough serve down the line. Alina Jacobson with the swing. Sharp cross court. Passed up. Deep swing by Cami Zane. Kaya Armstrong with the dunk attempt. Stuffed and rejected by by Carlson. Kendall McClear with the out-of-system attack. Deep cross court. Dug by Dayon. Set to the outside. Jacobson against the big double block. Folks, this is a very dramatic rally here. Big swing into the cross court, off the hands, off to the rafters. I don't even know how to unpack that for you, folks. There's a lot of tough action going on there. I do want to highlight Cami Zane there. She is not always getting sets in the best situations. A lot of time when her team is out of system, she is the bailout offense, and she's doing a really nice job of putting pressure on the defense in subpar situations for a hitter. Big swing from Armstrong, dug by Solano. The freshman setter dips it over, controlled, sets the outside, Jacobson attack, off the lines, dug! Phenomenal dig off the line. Finley Haven send over the free ball, will it cross? Just barely, Armstrong the first pass, Sullivan the set, back to the outside, Jacobson, another big swing! Into the net, that is 4 contacts. Whoa, that was a tough dig down the line there from the freshman setter. Sydney Ogilvy making the diving one-handed scoop. Substitute on the left. Alina Jacobson gets taken out, and that is number 10 for Greenwich. Big swing to the outside. Deep cross-court swing just out as senior outside Clara being subbed on. Being put in a tough situation right off the bench into the very next swing of the game. But she's at a few seconds now to acclimate. Sophia Solano serving. Deep float. Called out, sailed out. Point to Greenwich. 2-3 here at the early stage of this game. Esther Walsh comes off. Sammy Tomasino comes on. Victoria Sullivan, the junior setter, serving. Float to the 5-6 seam. A little bit of a low set pushed over by Carlson. Dug by the setter. Libero takes second ball. And Clara pushes it into the hands. A little bit of chaos from Ludlowe, but they get the ball over. Another set from the outside. And a little bit of a whiff. Ball stays on the Greenwich side. Ludlowe is in a tough situation there. A little bit of chaos, but they were able to get the ball to the other side of the net and reset their whole defense there. Cami Zane to serve. Back row setter, 3 hitters for Greenwich. High arching serve to the junior outside. Slightly low set. The middle reached back even though the defense was diving behind her. That is a tough situation. A pair of subs here. Cami Zane coming off. And Alina Jacobson coming back on. Jacobson to serve and play back row. For Lello, we have front hands 2 hitters, the freshmen and the 2 sophomores. Float to the 6. High pass from Solano, set to the outside. McAleer with the big swing. Out of bounds.
Scores long.
Float serve from Jacobson off the tape, popped up, overpass. Armstrong bounces the ball center court. Yeah, there are not a lot of options for Ludlowe to make adjustments here with the setter in the 4. They have to stack the hitters to the left side in order to run a conventional offense here. Float serve from Jacobson, targeting the 1. High pass in system, set to Carlson. Takes it back to the 1. Tough swing, easy dig. The referee is saying that the pass as it crossed over the net scraped the equipment. Folks, if the ball hits the ceiling and comes back on your side, you can continue playing the rally. If it touches the ceiling and crosses over to the other side of the court, that ends the rally, and that is what the down referee called right there. Heavy float serve into the middle of the net. Point to Greenwich. Folks, we have a really tight game here in the early runnings of set 3. Franny Zappa comes in for Kendall McAleer. Serve from Kaya Armstrong. Arching float serve to center court. Overpassed. Armstrong takes it in system pass. Hut tempo to the outside. Big swing into a double block. Controlled. Passed over and dunked by Carlson. The Greenwich team is asking for a reach over there, but I don't think that's what happened. Becca Carlson back to serve, and freshman Tenley Pavlovsky enters the front court for Ludlowe. Serve into the 6. Nice pass by Jacobson. Saidi with the big swing. Doug. Hut tempo offense to outside. Double block gets there. Controlled. And the tip down the line. Freshman center goes to dump it, and the junior outside says no, no, no. Essa Walsh comes on for Sammy Tomasino. Back to serve. Float serve to the 1-6. Havens with the swing onto Dayon's arms. Set back to the outside. Slightly wide. Pushed 4-4 in system. Tough footwork from the setter on that tight pass. And 4 contacts on Greenwich side. Not able to get the ball over. That was some really excellent footwork there by the freshman setter, Signy Ogilvy. With a low, tight pass, contorting her body to get a clean set off there. And now she's back to serve. Float off the tape. Not able to get picked up by the libero, Bailey Dayon. He scrambles for the ball, not quite able to get there in time. The tape is a fickle mistress. I would not depend on that counting for another point on this next one. Greenwich fans amping up the energy. Serve to the 1, taking the setter across the court. Roll shot popped straight up. Back set to Zane. Tip short. Scooped up. Push deep. Scramble from Ludlowe. Very out of system here. Greenwich, on the other hand, is right where they want to be. Big swing on the outside. Down the line. Touched, but not controlled. Greenwich with the big swing brings it to 7-8. The referee's asking the fans to bring the ball back to the court. And the junior outside, who just had that big kill down the line, is back to serve. High pass off the net. Brought into the center for Cami Zane. Tough roll shot to the short. Oh, and Teja Saidi brings it off the hands, out of bounds for a kill. Float to the 5. High pass pushing the pass wide. Tough play from the setter. Is it able to get brought back? No, it is not. A sub by Coach Rembush. Kendall McAleer enters the game again. We have Greenwich up 9-8. This is the tightest game of the 3 by far, folks. At this point, one of the teams or the other will have a big lead. Float serve into the tape. We are all tied up at 9-9. Senior Finley Havens back to serve. Jump float to the 1. Set all the way across the court to Jacobson. Roll shot down the line. Scooped up by the setter. High and tight. Don't like to play with the bump there. Use your hands. Sydney Ogilvie with a nice high pass. Big swing from the right side cross court. Controlled. Setter dump. Popped up by the fellow setter. Another swing from Zane. And the middle option from Saidi. Thrown back down by Zane. Alina Jacobson, big swing, high off the hands, out of bounds. Alina Jacobson ending that very long rally for us, folks. Ludlowe was probing and probing, but just couldn't find a crease in that Greenwich defense. Bailey Dayon back to serve as Stanley Pavlovsky takes the bench, and Kaya Armstrong enters the front court. Short float to the middle. Finley Havens got the jump on it, but didn't quite get the contact on that tough short serve. Greenwich up 11-9. Float, deep 6. High on the shoulders, could have been going out, but played. Free ball sent into the net by the freshman setter. Yeah, a tough serve there from freshman libero Bailey Dayon, catching the shoulder, this senior outside, Finley Havens, high in the shoulder. Again, challenging her. High set for Cami Zane, deep cross-court shot, controlled, in-system pass, set to the middle, a little bit low, popped up. Libero takes the second set ball. Kendall McAleer, high off the hands, dug by Heidi Ziem. And Alina Jacobson with the swing. Dug by Finley Havens. Ball floated up into the plane, popped up again. McAleer, sharp cross court. Ludlowe outlast Greenwich in a tough rally. Both teams were not in great situations, but they were making big hustle plays to continue that rally until Ludlowe got it to fall. Ludlowe is down 10-12 here in Game 3 of our FCIAC championship. Float serve to the 5-6. A little collision on the pass. Alina Jacobson with the nice shot down line. Jacob's been doing a really nice job with some off the net sets, putting some offensive pressure out, and not in the these like big ripping swings, but finding creases in the defense, putting smart shots. And for a ball coming all the way across the court, to bring that back to the line is a tough swing. Victoria Sullivan with the serve, controlled by Finley Havens in system. Tipped into the middle, setter took the first ball, so Libero takes the second. Alina Jacobson again, deep cross court, controlled by Sophia Solano. And the big run in the middle for Becca Carlson, reestablishing that pass set swing there. Again, that is a senior libero to freshman setter to sophomore middle hitter. Senior Cami Zane back to serve. Back row hands for Greenwich. Kaya Armstrong in the middle expecting that ball. We'll see what happens. Short float. Armstrong takes the first ball. Set to the outside. Tip over. Popped up by Zane. 1, 2. It's got to go over. This is the third contact. That's probably, yeah, that's got to be called a double. Heroic dive and dig by Cami Zane earns her team the point. 12-13 on the serve. Served into the 6, controlled by the libero. Nice, perfect passing system. 31, big swing, and sails just out. The rhythm, the connection, everything was exactly what Greenwich wanted, just slightly misexecuted there. All tied up at 13-13. The jump float, again, high float on the libero. In system, one ball taken to the one, dug by Zane. Sullivan again, tipped from Armstrong and unable to get scooped up. 14-13 Greenwich. Cami Zane takes the bench after a couple of excellent defensive plays in the past few rallies. Senior Alina Jacobson back to serve for Greenwich. The jump float to the 6, heavy serve. Big swing by Kendall McLear. Off the ceiling, controlled, big swing off the hands. That was a high pass from the Greenwich side off the rafters. And Victoria Sullivan was able to contort her body and get her hands on that ball, putting up a good set, somehow keeping it in rhythm for Kaya Armstrong. 15-13, Greenwich is up over Ludlowe in set 3. Short float, popped up high and tight. Ooh. Referee is saying that ball entered the plane. Ball was out of bounds. I assumed that was in from the finish, but I can't tell from here. Coach Mariana on Greenwich is letting the referee know her feelings. I thought that the middle might have been reaching over, but the referee signaled that the ball was in the plane. 14-15 Ludlow's serve. Kendall McLear, the sophomore, back to serve. Into the 5-16, popped up by the libero. Set to the outside, and big rip down the line. McLear comes off, and Franny Zappa comes on. Kyle Armstrong back to serve, which means Taya Saidi comes back into the front court for the middle. Float serve to the 1. Nice pass. Hut tempo to the outside. One-on-one off the hands. Oh, referee is saying that was all tape, no touch. They got the matchup they wanted, right? In-system pass, quick set with the hitter split. There was a one-on-one there. Finley Haven just couldn't quite convert there, and a great opportunity for her. Float serve from Kai Armstrong, down the line to the 1. Pass by Becca Carlson. Blocked by the freshman setter on the overpass. Chipped over 4-4. High pass in system. A lot of trust there from the setter to the middle, and not quite ready for it. The swing is soft blocked, controlled with the dig, and chip to the middle. Back 1, dug. Back to the outside, quick tempo offense again, inside. Oh, and a big heavy block there. And just a reminder, folks, when you are setting to your own teammates, you cannot get called for a double. It's only sending the ball over the court that you can get called for a double. There's a timeout called by Coach Rembish and Ludlowe at 14-18 here in set 3. Folks, we know that this Ludlowe team is calm, cool, and collected. In set 1, when they were down by 10 points, they were able to chip away and bring that back to just a 4-point lead before eventually losing by 6. Here they are down by 4. Coach Rembus has a ton of faith and ton of trust in her team, trusting them to make the adjustments a lot of time, but here she wanted a little more hands-on advice. Greenwich has already taken the court with 15 seconds left in the timeout, and they are riding this emotional high. This is a big physical team, and when they are feeling well, they are bouncing balls. Coach Mariana from Greenwich was having a few extra words with the down official. It is one timeout taken by Ludlowe. Greenwich still has both of theirs. Armstrong with the serve. High floating ball to the 1, brought back into system nicely. Back 1, push ball. Touched and dug, but not able to be continued. Becca Carlson continuing her phenomenal offensive game. And that is a partnership between that freshman setter and sophomore middle that will continue to be a threat in the FCIAC for a couple of years more. Tenley Pavlovsky re-enters the court as Becca Carlson back to serve. Pass to the 5-6. Lena Jacobson controls it nicely. Back set to Tomasino. Roll shot over the block. That might have found the floor. There was a diving defender, but Finley Havens popped it up, and there was no one else there to continue the rally. A crafty shot by the sophomore right side, Tomasino. On the rotation, Essa Wall subs in for her, going back to serve. The jump float, cross court 5-5. Nice pass. Big swing down the line, off the tape, off the arm. Unable to be dug. Finley Havens with the kill. Cami Zane re-enters the court for Ludlowe as Sydney Ogilvie, the freshman setter, goes back to serve. We are at 16-19, tied up 1-1 in sets in this pivotal game 3. Serve to the 6. High tight pass. Sullivan with your hands on it. Big swing from the middle. High pass off the court. Brought back. Deep free ball sent over, folks. This is drama. Quick set to the pin. Heidi with the lefty chip. Havens with the big push cross court. And there's a roll shot deep. Dug. Sydney with the set back to Finley. And big swing into the block. Covered. Over. Jacobson pops it up. Sullivan with the set. Tia with the tip to the 5. Easy dig there. In system set right side to Cami Zane. Deep line ball, and that is out. Folks, both teams were playing calm and conservative there. No one took any big risks. There was a lot of back and forth on that very dramatic rally, but Greenwich ends up winning it. Score is 20-16 as Heidi Ziem goes back to serve. This is a solid rotation for Ludlowe, though. They have their 2 senior pins in the front court. Oh, a short serve for the ace. Substitution called by Coach Rembish. Kendall McLear re-enters the court. Folks, this net is about 7'4" tall, so these short serves are brutal to try and get under. Beautiful in-system pass. Back set to Finley Havens. I am very impressed with the footwork of this freshman setter here. Moving to the net quick on a low, fast pass, getting under it and getting that ball in tempo back to the right side is a very mature play for a freshman setter. Big serve high to the 6. High tight pass. Sullivan pushes it into the block. Free ball. Outside set. McLear into the hands. The setter tossing it to the deep corner. Zane blocking the overpass. Pops over again. Libero takes a second ball. Zane with the swing. Down line, and it is in. Found the pocket this time. That was a cheeky, aggressive play from that setter there, feeling herself throwing that ball over to the deep corner. She was able to get her team a free ball, but I'm sure coaches question that decision making. All right, the senior outside back to serve here. Front hand split hits. High pass off the net, running a 1-ball, push to the deep 5, but controlled by the libero. Back set, Zane, swing, cross court, shank. That is back-to-back big swings there for Zane. 1 kill down to the line corner, 1 kill on the cross court. A sub here from Greenwich. Ludlowe was down by 4 just a couple moments ago, and now they are here at 19-21 in this game 3. Front row hands for Victoria Sullivan. Her middle is behind her, and she has her outside on the left. High pass in system, setter dump, popped up by Zane into the hands of the setter. Overpass, McLear putting it to the center of the court. Back row attack for Heidi Ziem. Dub! Brought back by McLear. Oh, valiant effort by Kendall McLear chasing that ball towards the net, but not able to bring it back into her team's court. 22-19. You know Greenwich was sweating there for a little bit. A few points left. They're up by 3 with 3 to go. Armstrong back on the court. Float to the deep 6, controlled by Finley. And the pass rockets to the net, unable to be handled by the freshman setter. Coach Rembish calls her second and final timeout at 19 Ludlowe, 23 Greenwich. Ludlowe as a team is shown to be resilient, but they are running out of time, folks. Down by 4. Greenwich only needs to score 2 more times to take this game 3 away. The Greenwich fans getting their stomp on, supporting their girls. 10 seconds left in this timeout before we return to the action in the final few rallies of set 3. It's all tied up 1-1 here. Greenwich is in a great position to capitalize on set 3 here, but Ludlowe has a few more cracks at it. Both timeouts taken by Coach Rembish. Freshman libero Bailey Dayon back to serve. Arcing serve short. Sophia Solano dives, overpasses, and Armstrong places it into the 2 for game point here. Serve into the tape. We have another breath of life for Ludlowe here. 20-24. Senior libero Sophia Solano back to serve. The fans on both sides are getting loud. The toss, the serve, down the line to the 5 with the ace. That is a very tough serve, dropping that ball into the short 5. You see a bunch of Greenwich players clustered over there, the front court outside and the front court middle, as well as the back court serve receive passer, creating some chaos into the 6. High off the shoulder of Heidi Azim. Off the ceiling. Oh, folks, that is just lack of comfort with this gym right here. Timeout called by Greenwich as their first time out of this set. It is 22 Ludlowe, 24 Greenwich. We've been fortunate today that not many rallies have been disturbed by the Stanford High School gym's rafters. There's a lot of space in between them, but there are a couple places that drop a little lower than some of these players might be used to. If this was the Stanford team playing, I'm sure they'd be a little more responsive to the ball sort of randomly pinging around. But when you are playing in a neutral location like this, it can be definitely a disadvantage to not be used to things like the lighting or the basketball hoops or the rafters above. Greenwich quickly refreshes and is right back on the court. And they are calling a substitution right away. Ludlowe is taking all of this opportunity that Greenwich gave them to collect themselves and have a little chat. And they walk on the court now at 22-24. Helena Jacobson enters the court for Greenwich. Sophia Solano back to serve for Ludlowe. We have front hands 2 hitters stacked right with the outside in the middle here. High tight pass, setter dump, touched but not dug. Folks, Greenwich holds on to win set 3, 25-22 in a set that was tense and full of drama. Greenwich did have the lead for most of the game, but they never felt like they were running away with it. Even though the lead rose to 4 multiple times in the game, Ludlowe would chip away and bring the pressure right back onto Greenwich. We are very excited here, heading into what could be the match-deciding set 4.
When your event needs to look and sound its best, trust the team that delivers every time. At A1 Audio, we provide professional sound, video, and lighting systems throughout Fairfield County. From corporate meetings and fundraisers to community events and celebrations, A1 Audio brings clarity, energy, and atmosphere to every moment. Elevate your next event with A1. Call, email, or visit us today.
Every time I think about the times you saved me, realize I wasn't there for you. Wishing that I could go back in time and fix it. Sorry that I didn't see the truth. Tell me, are you happy now? 'Cause since I'm lost, you must be found. I wanna make you proud, don't wanna be without you. Are you happy?
number 1 seed Greenwich has taken the lead 2-1 here in this championship match. Ludlowe is the 2 seed, was battling uphill for most of the third set, making it tense and tight into the 20s at 22-24, but Greenwich was able to pull away with it, and they enter set 4 starting with the serve. Referee goes to check the lineups as both teams sharing some cheer and some high fives within each other. Now, even though these teams have only played each other once so far this season, back on September 16th, as I mentioned, a matchup that Greenwich won 3-0, these players know each other very intimately from the year-round volleyball scene here in Connecticut. Not only do some of these girls play together for the Northeast Volleyball Club, but they also play with and against each other on other local clubs as well. So even though these teams are only their second matchup of the season, this is a team with players with intimate knowledge of each other's games and each other's play styles. That's been reflected by how tense and tight of a match this has been, folks. One strong win for each team, and then a nail-biter of a set 3. Junior setter Victoria Sullivan back to serve. In-system pass to the outside. Handling the clear, blocked. Oh. Referee's calling it down. Referee's calling it down, yeah. That ball was not continued on. I have no angle on whether or not that ball popped up. The referee made a judgment call calling it down. I do not think that they are going to overrule it. Once again, we see that the setter is starting in position 6. This allows Becca Carlson to rotate onto the front court after the first side out. Another nice pass, backs it to Zane. Big swing into the offset block. Yeah, the blockers were not lined up together, which allowed Zane a crease to attack into. Sophia Solano back to serve, and Becca Carlson enters the front court. And here we have back row setter, 3 hitters. Nice insistent pass, set to the middle, 31. Deep down the line for a kill. That is just a smart, difficult to defend shot, right, folks? Like, if there's a tip, the defender can get it. If it's a bounce, if it's a heavy swing downwards, that's into the block. But those deep corner shots in the middle are just so hard to defend. 2-1 Greenwich. Alina Jacobson back to serve. The float down the line to the 1, popped up off the net. Ran down by Ogilvy. Deep shot to the 6. Neither team felt like they had a firm control of the ball there. They were kind of playing catch-up to each contact, but Greenwich does enough and stretches the Ludlowe defense just far enough to get that ball to drop. Jacobson back to serve again. Phenomenal tough serve there. That ball crossed the net and dropped within 3 feet of the net. Zane was already transitioning back into hitting when she's got to stick around for a second longer and see if she can pass that ball. Greenwich is up 4-1. Another float serve incoming. Let's see if she targets the 1 again. Yep, right back down the line. Heavy ball. And quick timeout by Coach Rembish. The senior duo of Solano and Haven. Just a little moment of miscommunication and frazzledness there. But shout out to Alina Jacobson for playing with the yo-yo down the line there. That was a hard serve straight down the line, a short serve down the line, and another line drive serve down the line there. Just got her to serve receive on a string, challenging them to adjust to the level that she is establishing. You can see as we get further into this match, the stakes of the game have changed. In the first set, Coach Rembish let her team play out a long stretch to give Greenwich a big lead. But now that here we are in set 4, possibly the deciding set, you see a quicker pull on that timeout, getting her team to refocus. Not a time for teaching lessons, folks. It's a championship game. It's time to get out there and do your best to win. The Ludlowe fans are on their feet trying to share energy with their team. Coach Rumbush using the full minute of the timeout to get her team to collect itself. Ludlowe fans being extremely supportive of their girls right now. Jacobson back to serve, 5-1. Float to the 6, passed by Havens. Low tight set, tipped over. 31 ran, Kai Armstrong off the hands. That is a matchup she is going to win, folks. When Becca Carlson is trying to dive out there and Cammie Zane is trying to set that block in front of that verticality mismatch, that is always going to be in favor of Greenwich. Float serve, 116, passed by Finley Havens, set to the outside. Off the hands, drops into the court. Ludlowe gets the side out they need. Folks, it is still early. We know Ludlowe has proven that they will chip away, but this is a possible clinching game, so maybe the stakes are getting to them. We have Finley Havens back here to serve. Float to the 6, passed by the freshman libero. High outside set, Heidi Zane, big swing off the hands. Controlled, hut set to the outside. And that is a kill by Kendall McClear. Sydney Ogilvie running off the net to make that set, putting it right in rhythm, right in tempo, allowing that offense to click. Cammie Zane back to serve. Running the middle, a little chip shot passed up by the setter. Libero with the second ball, high to the outside, tipped over. Tight set, poked over. In system 32, that set was just barely in the plane and dunked over by Greenwich there. Couple of miscues that we are not used to seeing from Ludlowe in this fourth game. Jump float down the line to the 1. High pass to the center of the court, set to the outside. Big swing down the line off the hands. Dug up, overpass. Slightly out of sync in the middle, but tipped over and dropped short. Heidi Zane with the diving play, but that ball is called down on the first touch. We are at 4-7, folks, and we can feel the pressure mounting in here as we get further and further into this fourth set. If Greenwich wins, they become the champions. If Ludlowe wins, they send us to the most exciting words in volleyball. Set 5. Float cert. Outside set. Big swing down the line. The block was not set up to protect it, and it goes off the defender, and a big kill for Greenwich. Sammy Tomasino comes off the court. Essa Walsh, the sophomore, back to serve. Ludlowe has front row hand split hitters right here. I'd be looking for a back 1 if I was the setter for Ludlowe. Cross-court serve to the short 5. Beats the senior libero, Sofia Solano. Tough. Essa Walsh serving at 9-4. Again goes cross-court into the tape, drops on her own side. Point to Ludlowe. Considering how much damage she did in that first set, I think Ludlow's happy to walk away, only giving up 1 ace to Essa Walsh. Becca Carlson back to serve. Jump float to the 1. Pass set to the outside. Roll shot down line, popped up. Oh, referee calls it down, folks. Ten to 5. Another jump float. Set to the outside. Big swing into the solo block. Popped up, controlled. Overpass. Joust. Second. I think they had another contact there. Set. Back row. Big swing from the back row to the 5. Dug into the rafters. Pinballing around. Second contact. Sent over. Free ball controlled. In system. Dumped. That's a two-handed dump from the setter, Victoria Sullivan. If I was on Ludlowe, I would feel very similar to how Sydney Ogilvie felt. Right, we said you were You are allowed to double to your teammates, but balls going over probably shouldn't be doubled. Short float. Nice pass. To the middle. Tipped over, straight down. Tenley Pavlovsky finds the court for Ludlowe. Finds the court on Greenwich's side to win the point for her team. 6-11 here, folks. We're still in the first half of the game. Float to the 5, high serve, challenges Alina Jacobson. She gets the set back, deep to the 6. Doug, Sydney Ogilvie runs it down, tip down the line. What a shot, what a move! Oh. Tip into the hands, overpass. The ref signals that the net was the ball, but the ball was clearly above the net. Okay, first of all, I want to go back to that phenomenal tip down the line and the incredible defensive play that we saw there, laying out one-handed pop-up. There was some chaos, some nerves later on in the rally, but we saw some excellent touches in that play. Jump float to the 6. Bump pass to the right side. Havens pops it over. Free ball drops onto the line. Walsh slightly misjudged it. Senior outside, back to serve. Serve to the 6. Junior outside with the pass. Set to the middle. Over the block. Dug by the libero. Quick set. Folks, that is an extremely fast-tempoed offense there. That was a low dig, a quick set to the pin, and Kendall McClear just barely getting there. When you're running offensive tempo like that, it's extremely hard for the defensive Greenwich to set up there, and it creates a lot of creases for that ball to drop into. The jump float, heavy, passed by the libero. Setter runs across the court, sets the back 1, back 2. Great shot to the deep. I mean, that's just a tough connection there. You got to have a lot of trust in your middle to make sure they are on tempo behind you, and that trust is backed up by a kill. We are at 13-8, folks. This lead has hovered at 5 points for a little while now, just going back and forth. Victoria Sullivan, the setter, back to serve. Into the tape. Point to Ludlowe. Becca Carlson is excited to get off the bench and back onto the court. Senior libero Sophia Solano back to serve. 9-13. Ludlowe needs to start chipping away. Last game it was a little bit too little, a little bit too late. Serving the 1, libero jumps in front to take it. Sullivan with the nice tight set. You love to see an aggressive play by the libero, jumping in front of their passer, saying, no, I've got this one. But she's lucky that she has such a setter that can play at the net so well, because that would have been an overpass with a lot of different setters. Alina Jacobs in the serve. Heavy serve to the 1. Solano passes it. They run a little low, tipped over. Setter takes first ball and is out. Platform pass over the net. Pure chaos, folks. Greenwich did a little too much. Ludlowe had the advantage in the rally, but pure effort and a little discombobulation. That ball careens off a couple of elbows and drops on Ludlow's side. 15-19, Greenwich is up. Jacobson serving again. A rip of a serve down the line, folks. That is a phenomenal serve in a pressure situation. Greenwich is over the moon with energy right now as Coach Rembish calls timeout for Ludlowe. I do want to highlight that over the course of the season, Alina Jacobson put 92% of her serves in the court, and she is padding some stats with that phenomenal ace to that deep corner. Very tough serve to pull off in a championship game, no less. Greenwich is keeping the momentum and vibes high by taking the court after just a mere 20 seconds using that timeout. On the flip side, Rembish slowing things down, collecting her girls. The players that are on the court or on the bench facing her as she takes a knee in front of them. Greenwich is dancing and having a jolly old time on the court. Ludlowe coming out, faces determined. We're just past halfway in this set, but Ludlowe need to start chipping away if they want to put some pressure on Greenwich. Jacobson with the jump float down the line again. Solano controls it. High set to Zane. Big swing into the tape. There was a well-formed double block in front of her. She tried to take that ball line and just couldn't get it to cross the net. 17-9 Greenwich. Jacobson to the 6. Set to the outside. Tipped over and drops. The blocker got a finger on it, but not a hand, so Kendall McClear was able to push that over and get a kill. 10-17 here. Cami Zane back to serve. Back row setter for Greenwich, 3 hitters. Kean on Armstrong here. Where's she going? Running on the front side. Back one. Nope. Elastic arms getting that swing. Kendall McClear, big swing. No touch. That is out of bounds. Folks, if I tried to do that swing Armstrong just had, I'm pretty sure my shoulder would fall off. Substitution for Ludlowe. Zane coming off the court. Front hands, 2-hit stacked right for Ludlowe. A lot of footwork for the freshman setter. Comes across, gets her hands on the ball, sets the 31. Big swing, sails out. That is a nice aggressive attempt from the setter there, trying to find their big hitter. But these passes have just got to be a little higher, give the setter a little more time to get underneath it and set up. Float serve to the 5-6 seam. High tight pass in system. Big swing off the hands, dug by Zim. Second attempt here for Blue. Big swing to the 1. Setter is out. Jacobson brings it back into play. We're going to see a free ball coming over. Bounce off the basketball hoop. Ribeiro passes it in system. Back set to slide. Blocked by Greenwich. They are all up on that. That is crushing for Ludlowe to have multiple strong opportunities, multiple great opportunities to end that rally, and just Greenwich sticking it out, dragging it on long enough to finally close it out with a block. 20-10 here in set 4. Serve to the 6. Nice high pass in system. Set to the outside. McClear off the hands. Dug. And too high, too tight. No one was quite able to get there. Kendall McClear back to serve. We still have a back row setter here for Greenwich and 3 hitters. Keep your eyes on the outside here. High pass. Pushed it off the hands. Popped up in system. A swinging dig from the libero. Overpass and dunked down by Heidi Ziem. It's a tense situation, but you wish that there would be a little more aggression in the offense here and less trying to push it to spots. 21-11. Essa Walsh back to serve. Front hand split hits for Ludlowe. You're going to see a Hut tempo outside set, and probably a back 2 would be my guess, as well as Finley Haven on the pipe. Float serve, cross court to the 5-6. Back set, back 2 as cold. Setter takes first ball. Libero puts the platform set. Heidi Ziem with the big swing, cross court, dug, overpass. Sullivan with the set to the middle. Big swing, dug. Outside, chips it down the line, dug again. Bodies hitting the floor. Sent over with the free ball. Woo! Phenomenal dig on a huge swing there from Becca Carlson. The tip, soft tip, popped up, ball's over. Back in system, set to the outside. The swing, a chop to the cross court. Set to Heidi Ziem. A little rainbow tip. A little 4-4 play sent back over. Folks, this rally is never going to end. 4-4. Libero takes the second ball. Finley Haven with the windup and the swing into the net. Point to Greenwich. Ladies and gentlemen, what a phenomenal rally here at Stanford High School between the number 1 and number 2 seeds. Point goes to Greenwich, but that is a phenomenal rally by both sides. With that, though, Greenwich has won significantly more of those phenomenal rallies in this set. They are up 22-11, closing in on the FCIAC championship. Essa Walsh with the float serve to the 6. High tight pass, overpass. Saidi works it to the floor. Puts them up 23-11. Essa Walsh has been an absolute serving menace in the first and fourth sets of this match here. Front row setter, 2 hits stacked right, pass out of the 5. Oh, I lied, there was split hits. Off the chest of Jacobson towards the bleachers. Ludlowe earns the point there. Becca Carlson back to serve. Tenley Pavlovsky comes up to the front court. We need some strong serves and some big blocks for Ludlowe to continue this match for us. Floating ball to the 6. Bailey down controls it. Set to the outside. Tipped into the net. Didn't quite make it over. Ludlow's got a long way to climb, but there is no clock expiring. 13-23 as Carlson goes back to serve. Arcing float, challenging the defense deep. Roll shot. Blocked by Tenley Pavlovsky. So we've seen some tough serves. We've seen some big blocks here. Pavlovsky getting in on the action with that block, stuffing Heidi Ziem. 14-23 serve to the deep line, and that sails out of bounds. She was able to earn a couple of points on serve, but here we have championship point for Greenwich. Heidi Ziem back to serve, the junior outside hitter. Into the net. Ludlow's got a few more moments of life while they got to climb a whole lot of the way back. Senior Cami Zane re-enters the court. Freshman setter Sydney Ogilvy back to serve. It is doable, but a tough ask right now at 15-24. Serve to the 5, controlled by the senior Alina Jacobson. Big swing from the senior middle. Touch! That is a championship winning point by Sayatidi. Greenwich wins that one 25-14. 3-1 in sets. Congratulations to the girls in red. Well fought to the girls in blue. Ludlowe High School, very young roster. They're graduating 3 starting seniors, but they have a whole bunch of underclassmen who will be back for the next couple of years. Expect to see this matchup continue to be in these high tense moments in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain off the floor at this time. We'll be doing our presentations momentarily. If you are not with the team, I need you off the floor. Gentlemen with the cameras, take a quick one, and I need you off the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to grab a seat again, we're going to start our award presentation at this time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can I get Greenwich on their bench? Ludlowe on their bench, please. Guys, let's have a big round of applause for both teams for a great FCIAC finals. First, let's congratulate Ludlowe for winning the East champs and the FCIAC runner-up champs. And have a captain coming up second away. And last but not least, your Western champs and FCIAC champions, Greenwich Cardinals. And have the captain come up. And the FCIAC Finals MVP goes to Kaya Armstrong. Guys, thank you all. Have a great evening. Cardinals, I got something for you guys.
When your event needs to look and sound its best, trust the team that delivers every time. At A1 Audio, we provide professional sound, video, and lighting systems throughout Fairfield County. From corporate meetings and fundraisers to community events and celebrations, A1 Audio brings clarity, energy, and atmosphere to every moment. Elevate your next event with A1. Call, email, or visit us today.
Every time I think about the time to save me, realize I wasn't there for you. Wishing that I could go back in time and fix it. Sorry that I didn't see the truth. Tell me, are you happy now? 'Cause since I'm lost, you must